Hello and welcome back to Bold Prediction Wrestling. I am Chad, live from my daughter's pop-up tent. I'm joined, as usual, by my Ed and Eddie. It's the Ryans and Louis. Say hello, guys.
Hello?
Hello. I'm going to talk like my headset's actually working, but it's not because everything else tonight has gone to shit. I'm sat here in my daughter's. I'm in my own room because I don't have a lover or a child. I'm alone.
Okay, moving on. Usually we like to keep this show, I'd say, quite, exciting, quite, talk about recent events, whatever. Unfortunately, one of the recent events, the wrestling business and community lost. We lost Brodie Lee, Luke Harper, Jon Huber. I didn't realize what he was like behind the scenes until he passed, and everybody on Twitter is just talking about him and stuff like that. First of all, please bear with me because I've not done anything like this, and I'll probably struggle to find the words or not know what to say. But we're going to talk a lot about Brodie. I'm going to call him Brodie because that's how I knew him. I didn't know him as John, so I don't feel comfortable calling him John. So I'm going to call him Brodie or Luke. And we're all going to talk about how we got introduced to him, what our best moments about him was, and what everyone else is doing around this time to show support for Brodie. So Ryan Taylor, do you want to go first and just tell us how you first got introduced to him and what your best moments are from him and stuff?
I first got introduced to him 2014, was it, when the Wyatt family debuted?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because they had those big video packages. A few weeks, I think, it went on for. Then was like, are they actually ever going to debut and whatnot? Then obviously they did, and they came into like this big faction, expecting big things. They started off well, but then it slowly just dwindled out. They obviously broke up, and then obviously Harper had like a bit of a singles run, IC title and whatnot, and obviously he was in the Survivor Series match, 2014. Yeah, because I remember because obviously you had the dynamic of Rowan and Harper as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Rowan on Team Cena, and then obviously he rekindled with Bray, did he, for a little bit
after Taker, yeah.
Because
Bray faced Taker, and then after that, Harper joined, and then Rowan joined, and then Braun joined.
And then Braun got
yeah.
And also I think his most accomplished time was when he was in the Bludgeon Brothers with Rowan.
Got his WrestleMania moment.
That dominant tag team where they just, left, right, and centre just taking tag teams out. And then obviously Brodie Lee in AEW started off with his own faction there. Big things were happening there as well. And then unfortunately, obviously, it didn't go to plan, and there we are.
Louis and Ryan, is your experience with Brodie similar, or did you come into seeing him at different times, or what's your story?
I'll let Louis go first.
Thanks for that. Mine was similar with the introduction to what Ryan said. I knew sort of when he came in and they had the cinematic packages, where they'd show like a rocking chair and all that sort of stuff. And I was, I must say at the beginning, I was a very huge fan of the Wyatt family. But then as time went on, like Ryan said, he just sort of, the team split up. He had a great tag team run with Rowan for a bit. And it was sort of maintained the same sort of level after that point. And then when he came to AEW, again, he was teased in with like video packages of him getting out of limousines and like doors shutting behind him. And he was really good the way that they welcomed him in. And then, he had a great one there. He's one of 3 TNT champions, I believe.
Yeah.
And he was the first person to take the belt from Cody. which is good. And they had a great dog collar match. I don't know if you've seen that, any of you. It was really good. But yeah, that was his last match, I believe. I don't think he had any more after that.
Ryan?
Similar. Basically, when the Wyatt families came in, 2013-14, and then one of my favourite moments was Mania 31 in the Intercontinental ladder match, and Dean Ambrose was at the top of the ladder, about to win, and he just comes up behind, power bombs him through. Ambrose has this massive wacky bump, but it was just amazing. Just followed him through the Wyatt stuff up to the point where he after the Bludgeon Brothers, he came back. Clash of Champions 2019 to help Eric Rowan defeat Roman Reigns. Well, that's pretty cool. Just before he got released, and then when he got revealed to be I'm going to sound like a rat dick here, but is it the Exalted One or something?
Exalted One, yeah.
I was genuinely shocked it was him. And he's done amazing in AEW. Like I'm saying to Louis, I feel like his career just got started, like proper started. It's just not timely. It's just
because he was originally NXT Tag Team Champions. One of them. I obviously wasn't watching at that point, and none of you have mentioned it, so I don't think you were watching NXT at that point. NXT wasn't what it is today. Then obviously he was Intercontinental Champion, then he was SmackDown Tag Team Champion. My experience with him is a bit different. I stopped watching wrestling in 2013 for 2 years, and I came back in 2015 at the Rumble, and I didn't know anything that had happened between them 2 years except for Brock breaking the streak. So I put the Rumble on to watch. Luke Harper comes out. I'm like, don't know who this is, but all right. A few numbers later, Curtis Axel's meant to come out, but Rowan attacks, and then we get Rowan versus Harper, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who these guys are. Like, why am I meant to be interested in these? So I went back to the Survivor Series match that Ryan mentioned. Got a little bit more seen who he was, sort of thing. Obviously, had the TLC, the ladder match with Dolph Ziggler for the title. But then again, after that, like I said earlier, they disbanded the Wyatt family. Then they got the Wyatt family back together one by one. And then I can't remember what happened. The draft came in. I think Braun got separated from all of them. And then I think Rowan got injured because it was the stuff with Randy and Bray. The time that Randy won the Rumble and Randy Orton was trying to come into the Wyatt family, and Luke Harper was like, "Yeah, I don't like you." He put on some good matches then, especially against Orton. I think it was the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And then obviously after that, the next year, him and Rowan were getting built up as the Bludgeon Brothers. I thought that was a pretty decent run. I loved how dominant they looked. They really good. And then after that, like you said, Rowan got injured again, unfortunately. They gave Luke Harper a few big matches, I suppose. He was in a number one contenders battle royal, and he should have won. He eliminated AJ. AJ hit the floor first, but they awarded it to AJ because he was meant to win. And Luke Harper, that was coming to the end of his run. He was having a few matches, but I just missed him, to be honest. I was just like, where is he? And then he had that big match at Worlds Collide last year, I believe, against Dominik Dijakovic. That apparently was a really good match. I've not actually seen it. But I'd like to go back and watch that. And then obviously moved over to AEW, which you guys have all touched on a little bit. Tonight, we're recording this on Wednesday, 30th December. We're going up on Thursday, New Year's Eve. Tonight, AEW have pushed back all of their plans to bring in a tribute show for Brodie Lee, which I think is an amazing touch. All matches dedicated to him, his family. One of the teams in one of the matches is his son's dream match sort of thing, which I think is amazing. They've signed his son, so when he's of age, he can just start straight away. They've looked after his family, but just touched on his family. Have you seen what people have been saying on Twitter? And I never knew anything about him behind the scenes. To me, he was the guy that came out in dirty clothes and was from the Wyatt family. And for the most part, that was it. But everyone's saying, like, whenever there was a bump or someone was poorly or something, he'd message him and be like, how are you? He's helped out with money. He's helped out with so much support. He's been a great father. someone else. What do you guys think?
Can I just say as well, I think it, from a standpoint of the human, just how we are as a race, I think it's awful that it takes tragedy to really show how much people open up. And like, we should have known he was this good guy and stuff, but it always takes something bad to happen to make people realise. And I think as humans, I think that's wrong. I think that's what we all do wrong. We don't see what's right in front of us until it's gone.
And that's not just with Brodie, that's with everything, especially
everything.
this year. Like, I know we're starting this quite depression, but even with this year, there's so much that's happened that it's been like, the way we are is horrible. But
it needs to change, doesn't it? It's awful how it takes a death or something awful to make us really reflect on it.
We also had a tribute. WWE gave a quick tribute at the start of their show, dedicating the show to them. People weren't very happy with that. They kind of wanted more, but I was all right with it.
I don't agree with that though, because he's not contracted to WWE.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like the same if maybe not Jericho, because Jericho made his name. I think because it's Jericho, he would, but like he's not contracted to WWE, so they shouldn't.
If they do it for one, they have to do it for everyone.
Yeah. Leave that to AEW to sort that out, which is what they're doing. Like obviously, like he's still getting the respect that he deserves and the send off that that is needed. But
so WWE did that. We had Drew McIntyre start the show with "It's Monday, you know what that means." Yeah. I thought that was amazing. We had Ricochet doing a discus clothesline, and
I saw that. That was really good.
Xavier Woods done one too, and Tom Phillips. Tom Phillips. So Xavier Woods had the armband that said Brodie, and he did a discus clothesline too. Tom Phillips called it, what did he call it? The Harper line? The Harper clothesline or something like that, which I thought was a nice touch. And then Samoa Joe went, yeah. Alexa Bliss went, yeah, as well on her swing, which, just all these little sort of touches. I think it's been amazing.
It's the little things that counts, and
Well, someone on Twitter, I forget who it was, said that Brodie would have wanted the 10 bells and the moment's silence. He would have wanted people to remember him in the ring, and that's what people are doing. Anyone anything to add to that? No. Or have I covered it?
No, it's an hard one, because I sort of think they should have done a 10-bell salute, just because I think anyone who's worked for you, no matter what, they've sacrificed birthdays, Christmases to work for you. I think it's a level of respect, but then again, it's an iffy situation, because at the end of the day, he was working for a company that's against them. So,
speaking about working for a company that's against them, on Twitter, Xavier Woods has actually straight up promoted this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he retweeted it saying, he retweeted AEW's post saying, "There's a tribute show tonight for Brodie Lee, and this is, good things." I don't want to paraphrase and get it wrong, but he did retweet and promote it. Dolph Ziggler's tweeted saying that he's going to be watching it, and loads of others have just. So this is like, it's not brand versus brand. It's everyone coming together for an amazing human being and his family. I'm really struggling to find the words to say, because this is, anyone want to anyone want to say anything?
No, I agree. I think like you shouldn't be all about like brand versus brand or company versus company. It's all coming together about one person that's given a lot to each company. I would say AEW less so, but he's still there for a good 5-6 months or whatever it is, and still give it. But obviously, we do agree for what 6 years.
Just going off with what Ryan said then about the 10 bells for Harper, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but character-wise, if I don't wish death upon anybody, but if a lower carded person, let's say a Zack Ryder or someone on that level had passed, if you give one to Luke Harper, you've got to give one to everybody that's ever worked for you that haven't left in the wrong. And I think it's
really. Especially on longevity, 5 years or more, I reckon we should. Because
Zack Ryder's been there at least 10 years before he left, before he got fired. But they don't class him as, top tier star, WWE legend sort of thing. But I think Ryan's right. Like, have the little acknowledgement of it, have people represent him in the ring, and then let his company do the big testimonial goodbye or whatever. Like, for them to push all of their plans back and insert a new show. That's massive. So big props to Tony Khan and the rest of them for actually doing that as well. Yeah, I just didn't realize how much of a amazing person he was behind the scenes. I've never seen any interviews with him. I've never seen him out of character ever.
No. He just seems like one of those that, well, it seemed that he kept himself to himself, but clearly, like, obviously, he was like always there for his colleagues and family and whatnot.
He was always good at, it's like Undertaker, always good at staying in character. Obviously, you know, he's ill and no one knew, and this has happened. He's kept it.
I saw a post that was it Jay Uso put an Instagram up of a text message, you know, after his match at Hell in a Cell with Roman, and he put up saying, "Oh, like big props," because they had like a joke, didn't they, about the hair, and like and the water and the conditioner and stuff. And I thought that he's still messaging someone. Obviously, if he was not even with that company anymore, and he's not the only one. He did it with Mustafa as well.
That Ali one was good, yeah.
So it just shows that he still remembers those that he obviously was on the road with for years, and obviously we would have worked closer with Jay, for example, because obviously the tag team division and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
It just shows that he's got time for everybody.
Big E is another one. Big E and Xavier Woods, they've mentioned him a lot, and Kofi.
It only takes a message, you know, and it's like it might even just be like, "Oh, hi, what's up?" Yeah, it makes a difference, doesn't it?
But it's good to see them all like come out and be like, you know, he was an amazing person. You needed him there, and he was there. Even if you didn't know you needed him, he was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a lot. He's going to be missed tremendously. All of our thoughts obviously go out to his family and his friends, and that we have done. Well, Ryan below me has actually done a video on our channel as a tribute to Brodie. So go and check that out if you can. It was a hard watch. It was, but
can I just say as well something I forgot to mention when I was doing moments? The matches between the Wyatt family and the Shield from early 2014, absolutely bangers, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely bangers.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That was one of the ones that I went back and watched over the past few days. Like, it's just how much they built him up and what a superstar he was.
That was the Shield and Wyatt family's first Mania, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The factions. Yeah. Thought so.
Does anybody else have anything they want to mention about Brodie, Luke, John, anything like that, or are we done with this part? Because I understand it's very difficult to talk about this sort of stuff. Struggle to find the words. I know afterwards we'll have loads to say that we forgot, but for now, is everybody okay? Yeah. So for the rest of the show, we've got a few things coming up. So next week we'll be going back to our regular recording and upload day. We're going to be recording on Fridays going forward and uploading on Saturdays at noon British time. That does mean that we can preview tonight's NXT and AEW and next week's NXT and AEW, as well as the upcoming Raw, SmackDown. Like there's a lot for us to cover. The things I want to touch on the most are I don't want to talk too much about the Royal Rumble because we've still got 5 weeks until then, and a lot can change. But there is one person in particular I want to talk about. We're going to talk about Big E and the Intercontinental Championship, and we're going to talk about the big shows coming up for NXT and AEW. And
wait, I thought you said the big show then.
The big shows coming up on Legends Night. But yeah, we've still got quite a bit to talk about here. I want to start with, I know I said I don't want to talk too much about the Rumble, but Daniel Bryan. He was the first person to announce his entrance into the 2021 Royal Rumble. He announced it on SmackDown. And on Talking Smack, he said that he's never won a Battle Royal, never mind a Royal Rumble. Do we think this could be the year? Could this make up for 2014? Is it too late for him? What do you guys think? Ryan Taylor, I'll start with you.
I don't know. I guess you could say that's like planting a seed, but I don't think he needs it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't be against it.
I don't think anyone would be against Daniel Bryan and Roman at Mania.
I would be against Daniel Bryan winning the Rumble because obviously he's never won it before. Yeah. But I feel like it'd be better used elsewhere to create, because he's already a star.
Yeah.
You know, he's already been around the block and done all that stuff. You know, obviously with his big moment being in 2014 with obviously the Mania main event. But I don't know. I feel like obviously you've got people like Big E, for example, Keith Lee, just to name two that I'd give it to. Even I'd give it to Cesaro over Daniel Bryan. I know that's a long shot.
That'd be nice,
Well,
wouldn't it?
Yeah. So I wouldn't be against it. It'd be nice to see. Like if he won it, if he came out and he won it, and I wouldn't be like, oh, like I have been in the past with certain wrestlers. I would be like, oh, all right, fair enough. I'm interested to see where this is going.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll win it. I think it's a good solid start for him to be the first entry. You know, because it's always good to see Daniel Bryan in a match. But yeah, it's a good start. I just don't see him winning it though.
Just before we move on to the next person, Bobby Lashley has also announced his entry. Ryan, what do you think about that?
Lashley.
Ryan Taylor.
Oh, me.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know you meant that. No, again, I don't think Lashley will win it. But again, you could have the Hurt Business in there, and you could do some sort of shenanigans in that match, especially MVP, because you know with the whole manager role and stuff. Like again, I don't think Lashley will win it. But again, it's just another big name to put in there. And obviously, he's obviously the US champion, so double duty, I imagine.
Well, we know what Bobby Lashley's track record's like defending on pay-per-views.
Well, that's true, but I don't know. I've heard that is it Matt Riddle?
Yeah.
I'm looking like Matt Riddle Lashley at Rumble.
Yeah, it's looking like Riddle. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if Riddle takes the belt. I'm not saying he will, but I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't be surprised either, but I don't want it to happen. Louis?
I can fully see Riddle taking it, and I really want Riddle to be the champion. I'm a big fan of Matt Riddle's. Big fan.
No.
What about the Daniel Bryan in the Rumble? Do you reckon he has a chance?
What was that,
Louis?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Had a minute then. No, I think, I don't know. I can't see in my head Daniel Bryan winning the Rumble with no build-up. There's been no nothing, you know. It'd be really out of the blue.
He hasn't really been on TV, has he? Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, if he won, I'd be all for it. But it's one of them.
Ryan, anything to add?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, say they want in Roman versus Goldberg, yeah? But if Goldberg doesn't pull through, we already know from the reports that Daniel Bryan is a backup. Yeah. So if he wins, I think he's got more of a chance than everyone's thinking, to be honest. I'd definitely put him in the top 4 for this year, or next year.
I want to point
definitely put him in the top 4 to win.
Louis said that it's got no build, and Ryan said he hasn't been on TV, which I completely agree with. And a lot of people would be like, well, he hasn't been on TV for the past few months. How can we just throw him in and he's winning? These next 5 weeks could be crucial to building up Daniel Bryan again to win it. If they tell the story that he's never won a Rumble, he's never won a Battle Royal, it should have been his year in the past, but it hasn't been. Have him put on excellent matches over the next 5 weeks, and you could still build him up as a believable winner.
Oh, 100%.
I'd like to see him win. I don't think he will. But with him announcing, and if he gets eliminated, who would you have eliminate him, and where would he go from there? Any of you can jump out for that one.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
What brand is Lars Sullivan on?
SmackDown.
I'd possibly go Lars Sullivan.
That's a good shout. Not that I want to see Lars Sullivan, but that is a good shout.
I just feel like because you can have, obviously, because he plays that character very well, like a big heelish monster character kind of thing.
And Daniel Bryan does well facing against that.
Yeah, and obviously with like you say, yeah, because Daniel Bryan's notoriously the big underdog, isn't he? And obviously that, I mean, I'm not seeing fans out on Bryan's side, but it would make him maybe support him a lot more again. And then you can go somewhere with Bryan, then you can give him a start, but then who would you have win that match, that feud? Would you have Lars Sullivan or would you have Daniel Bryan?
Bryan, because I don't like Lars Sullivan.
Yeah, but then if you got to figure if you're going to build stars, you'd go Lars Sullivan. Then again, is Lars Sullivan reliable because he keeps? Yeah. We haven't seen him again in what? So
it's been a few. Yeah, he came back, did that sit-down interview with Corey Graves.
Well, it was the draft, wasn't it?
Pardon?
It was the draft, weren't it, where he came out and then just destroyed I can't remember who he destroyed. Was it Jeff Hardy?
Yeah. And then he did that. Do you remember he did that sit down interview and he was like, "Oh, I got bullied as a kid."
Yeah.
And I was like, don't know how I feel about this.
That's been a good couple of months now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I was to have one person eliminated, I'd probably go, just off the top of my head, I'd go Lance Sullivan.
What about with his Knights of the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin?
Oh, no.
I was thinking that'd make actual sense.
Mm-hmm.
Chucking with Bryan could actually drag Corbin to a decent match. It's heel versus face straight away. Knights of the Lone... What is it?
Knights of the Lone Wolf. I love it.
Yeah, that's it. That'd make a great dynamic. And I think if anyone's going to bring Corbin to a good match, apart from AJ Styles, it's Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, to be honest. I really like Baron Corbin. Only because, right, through every single interview I've heard, people say, like, wrestlers say, Corbin's one of the safest. He's got, like, the quickest... I think it was Dolph Ziggler said he's got the quickest reaction times when it comes to something going wrong.
Mm.
He's got the quickest reaction times. And no one seems to care because he plays a character so well.
Yeah.
And that character
everyone wants to do him because of his character.
Yeah. So everyone hates him, but actually he's really talented. He plays the character incredibly well because we all hate him. And everyone's like, oh, we shouldn't have this, we shouldn't have that. I think he has just as much right to be there as anyone else.
I do agree. And the other thing that I love about Baron Corbin, which you could also add into the story, is that no one has ever kicked out of the End of Days.
That is a really good finisher. I do like that finisher.
I love that finisher too.
Exactly.
He's pretty sick.
Sorry?
And the Winds of Change is good as well.
The what?
And is it Winds of Change? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Deep Six as well.
Yeah, Deep Six. Yeah,
Deep Six.
He's got a good... as much as he like sticks on like the rest holds or whatever, he's got a good moveset when it comes to finishers. And I'd love to see that story being played out. Like, listen, he's been here 3 years, if not longer, and not a single person has kicked out of that move. Like, and then you could play that how they did with Ember Moon and Asuka. Like, no one's kicked out of the Eclipse, and then Asuka did.
Which is another really good finisher. I love
exactly,
that.
Yeah. But imagine that Mania, the story going in. If one move, that's all it takes. Baron Corbin hits it, Bryan's out. You know, and if Bryan wants to say he's coming to the end of his career, stick your career on it. You don't have to have Bryan lose.
Well,
stick your career on it.
Is this not his last contract? He
said that this is his last run. He's coming to an end. That's why he's not been on TV too much.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because he's just had another baby, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
This is just like personal. This is me being selfish. I'd love the Miz to eliminate him.
See, that makes sense.
I'm a sucker for the Miz and Bryan storyline, and I want that match at Mania.
But they're also on opposite brands, aren't they? So it'd be a bit difficult.
Yeah, but when do they care about that?
In the match itself, you could do it, obviously, because it's all brands. But
yeah,
with them being on separate brands, I don't know.
And moving on to the next topic. Oh, sorry, go on, Louis.
I was about to say, you could have the dynamic of Bryan coming over to Raw and attacking Miz coming over to SmackDown and attacking Bryan. That sort of thing could work.
Yeah, sort of like Under Siege.
Can't Money in the Bank travel between brands anyway?
That is what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
That was going to be the next point. The Miz got Money in the Bank back.
Yeah.
So you could even have that match, career versus briefcase.
Whoa.
Yeah, Bryan would only have like a month to cash in, but it's still Money in the Bank. And Miz didn't win the ladder match. He won in shady shenanigans. Bryan, Miz, career briefcase.
That'd be pretty cool.
Writes itself, doesn't it, really? It writes itself.
Money. The only issue you've got is they're on different brands. But like Louis said, have them go across attacking each other. Have Adam Pearce be like, right, Mania.
Adam Pearce, definitely not what he's general manager.
A couple of weeks,
and have Miz go, I'm sorry, I love you. Super kick him and send him his way.
I've got another issue, right? I've got an issue, right? I'm going off track. It'll take me 2 minutes, right?
You've got lots of issues, but go on.
What is Adam Pearce? What is he? He's just a guy in a suit.
He's like a standing general manager, isn't he, kind of? I don't really know.
to waltz around like he's Joe Biden, doing this, doing that.
The thing is, right, he's come out of nowhere. He's come out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Him and Pat Buck. They're just like the one that Nia Jax attacked and got suspended for. They got put through a table when Miz and Drew were attacking. Sheamus and Drew were attacking each other. Just they've not come from anywhere. Like, it's great. I hate it, but it's great.
It's confusing. He just walks. He's got a suit on. He's like, "Oh, you're in this match. Oh, here's your briefcase. Fuck off, lad.
Here's money in the bank back."
Don't fix the bin first.
Have Akira Tozawa go up to it. Drew Gulak go up to him, and be like, "Can I have me gobbledygooker costume back, please?" But no, like, where's he come from?
Like him, to be fair.
Why do we have to? Why do we have to? What give? I don't know how to word it. Why should we care about what he has to say?
Yeah, he's wearing a suit. He's wearing a suit.
That's it.
I think we do because he's kind of playing a position. He's kind of playing a position of power, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, because he's making all these decisions and people keep going up to him. We're meant to assume that he's some sort of important character. That's what
comes out that he's not.
Well, next week at work, I'm just going to waltz in and say I'm new chairman. See how that goes. I'll wear a suit and everything.
I want you to go over here and do this.
The place will be closed down by the end of the week.
I want you and Ryan to go in that corner and have a fight. You can have this briefcase if you win. There's nothing
we do that anyway.
Pretty much. The thing is, though, right? If he was general manager, I wouldn't even care. It's just the fact that every week since like August. Remember in August, he got sent around with that contract to make Roman Reigns sign the contract.
Oh, yeah.
Been delegated.
That's when he first got introduced, weren't it? That was like one of his first
WWE official he's down as well.
I was watching Great Balls of Fire from 2017.
Why?
During the Reigns versus... Oh, I don't know, to be honest. During the Reigns versus Strowman match, he was one of the guys that came out. Do you know when they have like extras on? Like, oh, you all right, pal? Oh, he's been hit by an ambulance. He's not all right, but they're going to ask him anyway. Oh,
Brilliant. Brilliant. I don't really know what else to say about him. He's sort of like, I like him, and I like what he does. I like that he's not too overpowering.
No, I like him. I don't have an issue with it. I like him.
I don't have an issue because he's not overpowering. He's not like the authority.
No, he's there.
But why should we believe it? Why should we, why should we trust like he's in charge sort of thing? Just because he wears a suit, that's it.
Right, he's pulling a Donald Trump, though, isn't he?
Why do we not have general managers? That's what I want to know. Like, what happened?
Because we are the authority.
Oh yeah.
That is why.
That went great, didn't it, boys?
Well,
that though, to be fair, right? Sorry, I'm going off a tangent. But why should we, just people who watch, like enforce that? Oh, we get our ideas all the time. It's bollocks.
Why should we watch?
Oh, there is that as well. It's like, why do people go on? Like, oh, sign this petition to make Kurt Angle face John Cena at Mania. Like, calm down, lad. Bryan from Nevada ain't going to change Vince McMahon's mind, is he? It's all bollocks. Like, we do not have the right to do it. It annoys me so much. Because everyone's like, oh, I hate WWE. They don't listen. But why should they listen? They're the millionaire company. You're just the guy who's finished work, sat down, watching a TV show. Just watch it. Shut up and watch.
I was watching something the other day, and Stephanie McMahon was on it, and she was like, oh, yeah, we always give the fans what they want.
Yeah, but they don't need to. Like, they shouldn't have to. It's ridiculous.
No, they don't. No, they do not.
We've got like too much power. We shouldn't.
We don't have enough power. Name a decision that we've made.
We have no power.
I mean, we eventually wore him down with Daniel Bryan, though. To be fair,
they had no choice.
And Becky.
And Becky, yeah.
And Becky.
And Kofi.
And Kofi.
And does anyone remember Cyber Tuesday?
Who?
Cyber Sunday. Taboo Tuesday. The old pay-per-views.
That was so rigged.
Why don't they bring that back?
Like that. I'd actually dig that, to be fair.
Bring Cyber Sunday back as a network special and have people vote on the app or something. Like, this environment's made for it.
Yeah, but wait,
they're bringing something back early next year, aren't they? Is it not Armageddon?
No, apparently that'll fit.
That wasn't confirmed. That was like Ryan saying that CM Punk's going to AEW.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but can I just say, yeah? Why would you put the power in the people power, who went on the Thunderdome? We, as a wrestling fan community, are so weird. Went on the Thunderdome dressed as the KKK. We showed a beheading video on the Thunderdome. Chris Benoit made an appearance on the Thunderdome. Why would you trust them to put book your main event.
Makes sense. Saying that,
That's
though,
exactly
we did
what
get what we
I'm
wanted
expecting.
because of our new Intercontinental Champion, Big E.
Good segue.
I know, yeah. Big moment on Christmas Day, beat Sami Zayn in a lumberjack match to become the Intercontinental Champion. The next part, I think, is the part they're going to struggle with because they've got the title on him. He's now the
How to
champion.
book it.
How are you going to book it? Who are you going to put him against? What's he going to do? When's he going to lose the title? All of them questions I'm opening up to you guys. Who would you like to see Big E fight for that title? Bearing in mind he's on SmackDown. Daniel Bryan.
At WrestleMania.
So you ruling are you ruling out not winning the Rumble then?
Well, to be honest, mate, after this year, I don't really know what's going to happen. We could have Gobbledygooker in it for all I know.
That was what I was saying to my partner. I was like, I have no idea who's going to win this Rumble. It could be anybody at this point.
It is so hard.
Which is good. It's the way I want it. Louis, who would you like to see Big E face? Paul Heyman.
Is that for the face and lose the belt? Or
just face in general?
I'd like to. It's a shame. I'd like to see and go against Sami Zayn a couple more times and drag that right out. I think they work well together. I don't know. I think it'd be a nice introduction. Rollins is on SmackDown now, is he not?
He's returning on Friday, so good segue there. Yeah, he's returning on Friday.
Yeah. So introduce Rollins back in and have Rollins feud with Big E.
That's a good show.
I think that could be good. Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think about this, but I would like Big E to do what John Cena did with the US title. Every Friday, open challenge. And to start it off with, I'd put him in there with people he can have big, good matches with. Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura. They've been in the tag division Cesaro's been in the tag division with him for years. Stick Jey Uso in there. Imagine Jey Uso, Big E for the title.
Jey Uso, yeah.
I think if you did that, if you stuck Big E every Friday, come out, open challenge, you could have good match after good match. Same as what Cena did with that United States Championship. Like
you give it more credibility because obviously the mid-card titles, they don't get defended.
They don't.
Like they don't. Like Lash just held it how long? And I can only count like 2 or 3 times that he's actually defended it.
He defended it against Slapjack at Hell in a Cell.
Apollo at Clash of Champions.
They didn't at Survivor Series because
didn't at Survivor Series. Didn't at TLC.
No.
Who did he defend it against the other day?
That's back-to-back months already that we've been spoken about, and we're not even sure if he'll defend it at the Rumble.
Yeah, because he's in the Rumble already, so
that's probably 3 months of straight defense of the US title at a pay-per-view, which isn't right.
But yeah, I think I'd have Big E defend against like Cesaro, Nakamura the next couple of weeks, and then I'd like to see Seth at the Rumble. I think that'd be a good heel face championship big match sort of thing. Obviously, have Big E win. I'd have Big E go all the way to Mania with it.
Yeah.
But then who beats him? Baron Corbin? Lars Sullivan? Kalisto?
Yeah, well, Baron Corbin's not held a mid-card title, has he?
United States.
He was Intercontinental and United States.
2017.
He's that forgetful, I forgot.
He had a feud with Dean Ambrose over the Intercontinental.
Oh, yeah, he did, yeah.
He didn't win that,
He didn't hold it long, did he?
He didn't hold the IC, he's only held the United States.
Well,
he defeated AJ Styles for the United States.
Oh, yeah, no, he did. He
against Ty Dillinger.
He didn't hold it long, though, did he?
No, he lost it at the Clash of Champions to Ziggler. Like 2 months. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Oh, they're going to put him against Dolph Ziggler, aren't they?
Oh, no, that name gets brought up.
Oh, no, he's on SmackDown here. Oh.
Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode on SmackDown.
Give it Robert Roode.
I was going to say, oh, go on.
Robert Roode and Ziggler going for the tag titles, aren't they?
Yeah, they lost. They had a match last week before TLC, so 2 weeks ago, and they lost.
Oh, yeah, they did, yeah.
That's another division that needs sorting out, the tag on both brands.
The only good things that are going on at the minute is the 2 main titles, the WWE and the Universal and the SmackDown Women's. Everything else is a joke.
I was going to say who's the Raw Women's, and that just tells you everything you need to know. Exactly. But yeah, what were they doing on Raw? They had
They had a 1-on-1 match, didn't she? Charlotte against Nia.
Yeah, had Dana Brooke against Shayna.
Yeah.
Nia Jax announced herself for the Women's Rumble, which means my bold prediction from last week is wrong.
Shayna's in there as well, isn't she?
Yeah. She said, that sounds like a good idea, actually. I might do that.
Yeah. I might do that.
Might do that. Anything else anybody wants to add about Raw SmackDown that's been, or Raw SmackDown that's coming up? We've got Legends Night coming up next week. Anyone want to?
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I'll let you go first.
Go on, Larry.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I disagree really with what Ryan said about the Universal title and the World title being the only things that are going on at the moment. I think you've got a steady thing going on between Ricochet and Ali's Retribution. It's steady.
I didn't say feuds. I said titles.
You've got Hurt Business. I've got the tag belts and the US belt.
Not that you'd know.
They're doing it just to build up the image. They're doing it just to build up the image.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is all very carefully planned, but we just want to watch title matches. So, it's one of them.
I want the titles to mean something like they say they do. They say the United States Championships, this big thing that is prestigious, it's been around for years. It'd take me a while to tell you who's even holding it if we didn't have this conversation. And it'd take me even longer for me to tell you who he beat. But that's just, they're saying this is a big prestigious championship that he's held for 6 months and not defended. Like, to me, defending the championship, even as a heel, successfully defending it puts something on it. Look at Punk when he was WWE champion, turned heel halfway through, still defended it. Yeah, there were shenanigans and stuff, but he still defended it, and it's one of my most memorable runs of all time. Speaking of champions, Monday we've got Keith Lee taking on Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Does anyone see a Keith Lee win?
No.
That was unanimous. Right, moving on. No, do you think it should have been Sheamus?
I don't really
care.
No.
Because I want them to drag this out a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Before he actually does turn on Drew, and we have that feud. And just let it, because it's brewing. We're having little things here and there, teething problems, and he's honestly, something's going to happen. It's a bit like the Jericho and Owens.
Yeah.
But obviously not as what's the word? I can't think of the word, but obviously it's just started. There's no point pulling the trigger straight away. Let it brew for a month or two, and then hit the trigger.
I was gonna say, do you think we'll get it at the Rumble in 4 weeks?
I can see Sheamus. Well, I don't know because Drew won't be in the match. No. I was gonna say I can see Sheamus kind of maybe bro kicking Drew.
I can see Sheamus and Drew 1-on-1 for the title. Maybe 1-on-1 if you had Keith Lee in triple threat.
Honestly, I wouldn't be against Drew Sheamus at Mania for the title. That's just me. I'd
like that.
It's something different as well, because when was the last time Sheamus was in the top title?
2015, cashed in Money in the Bank against Roman Reigns.
Yeah, exactly. It's been 5 years.
And that lasted 2 weeks and lost it on Raw.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be nice to see him back in there again. It's a bit like Owens. I like to see Owens back in there. So Sheamus is another one I'd like to see being there for a while.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
I'd like to personally. I'd really like to see Keith take the belt off of Drew now.
Okay.
Just because. Let's face it, Drew has been turned into a star this past year.
He has.
Like a top tier, the top of the company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you having put Keith over.
Yeah.
That builds Keith up to possible Mania. That builds Keith up to winning the Rumble. That builds Keith up to Mania. That builds Keith up to all sorts of things that could happen. He only has to hold it for a week. You know what I mean? He only has to hold it for a week or two.
Have him win
and then
it
just
on
have Drew get a
Monday.
clean pin.
Have him win it on Monday, lose it at the Rumble, win the Rumble. Because the thing is, he is my pick. He was my pick to win the Rumble. But now with him having a match on Raw and other people being announced for the Rumble, I'm sort of like, right, I'm going to wait and see if when we get there. Ryan Sutcliffe, choose NXT or AEW?
AEW.
Okay. So over the next couple of weeks for AEW, obviously tonight we've got the Brodie Lee tribute show, which we've all spoke about. I do want to come back to that in my bold prediction. But they have also announced New Year's Smash, 2-part show, one next week, one the week after. Week 1, we've got Kenny Omega defending against Rey Fenix. We got Hikaru Shida defending the Women's World Championship against Abaddon. And we've got Jake Hager versus Wardlow, which will be a massive match. Night 2, the big matches, we've got Darby Allin defending against Brian Cage. Cody Rhodes and Matt Sydal on FTR taking on Jurassic Express. Also, over, I think it's night 1, we've got Jon Moxley returning. Louis, what would you like to see Jon Moxley do when he returns?
Well, to be brutally honest, come out, microphone, shoot promo, gone, done, finished, see you later.
Okay. What would you have him do?
Come out.
What would you have him do next, though?
Have him lay low. You see, the way that they used Moxley was they'd have him lay low and then he'd just show up main event, boom. You know what I mean? But it was consistent main events.
Yeah.
You know, like he'd come out, he'd feud, main event, and then he'd lay low for a couple of weeks and they'd push other talent. You know, and he'd come out again a couple of weeks before the pay-per-view. He'd come out, he'd have matches. He had a great, fantastic match with Darby Allin. That I was a huge fan of. He had a huge match with oh no, I don't think he actually ended up wrestling Lance Archer. He had a match that I really enjoyed, and I mentioned it either last week or the week before with Eddie Kingston.
I knew you were going to say Eddie Kingston. Yeah.
It was just amazing. It was one of the best matches I've seen in a long time, because you don't see matches like that anymore. Yeah. It was just fantastic. There was white spirits involved and thumbtacks. It was beautiful. But yeah, I got sidetracked there. So what I'd like to see is him just come out, big shoot promo, and then clear off and be gone for a couple of weeks. Yeah. I don't want them to force him down his throats.
Yeah.
And I don't think they will.
I don't think they will.
No, they're very clever with stuff like this. So they'll have him come out, they'll have him shoot a promo. He might land a paradigm shift on someone, and then he'll go. You know. Yeah, that's it. However, I just want to quickly touch on the couple of other matches on there. Omega and Rey Fenix.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. That's going to be so good.
Omega retains.
Oh, obviously.
We're all in agreement, yeah.
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 No, never been more certain enough.
He'll cheat the win, though. He won't get it clean, I don't think.
You don't reckon it'll be a clean victory?
Oh, the Good Brothers will get involved, I reckon.
Don't say that. Don't say it's more certain, because I was certain that Fiend had beat Goldberg. Almost put a bet on it, and I am so glad I did not put a bet on that.
Someone else was a bit certain that Kane would win the Universal title. No, sorry. Omega. Yeah, so Omega. I think Good Brothers get involved.
I'd like to do that.
I'm saying it won't be a clean win.
No.
And then Cage and Darby Allin, this match, oh God, it makes me so happy, because them two. You are?
Do you reckon Sting will get involved?
What is it?
It's Sting.
So my idea for this match, right, is you have a fantastic match between Darby Allin and Brian Cage, right? Team Taz comes down, right? They start trying to intimidate Darby Allin, right? Then Sting, all goes black, right? Sting's music starts playing, the screen comes on, Sting appears, roll up, Darby Allin. Takes out Brian Cage, roll up, Schoolboy, straight over. 1, 2, 3, and then close on.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I believe that's on
or,
Go on.
Or Sting comes out, referee's down for some reason, lights go out, lights come back on again, Brian Cage is laid out. Darby Allin to the top, coffin drop, gets the pin.
Oh.
I believe that match is happening in... So not tonight, not the week after, the week after. So we will have another podcast before that. So they've still got 2 shows, basically, and Dark to proceed with that storyline even more if they needed to. But no, I like what you're saying, especially about, like... Go on.
The thing is, I'm a huge fan of Darby Allin, and I like the way that he's being used.
Yeah.
Like, he's coming out, they're pushing his finishing maneuver, which is the coffin drop, and he can do it top rope, and he can also do it springboard as well. So they're really sort of shoving that down our throats so that we know that's his finishing maneuver, which I think is great. And they're giving it some potency as well. I think he put away Cody with it.
Okay.
I think he finished Cody off with the coffin drop. I don't know. It's one of them. I really want to see him beat Brian Cage. Or they could take the belt off him and have him go against Sting.
Yeah, because that I kind of hope they do that, because WWE have this thing of, if legends are in a match, it needs a title. Brock, Goldberg. It doesn't. It really doesn't. You can have Sting and Darby, no title. You don't need a title. If they really wanted to do Roman and Goldberg this year, it doesn't need a title. You know, they keep bringing them back and saying that they need title matches. They don't. Goldberg does not need to be a 2-time Universal Champion at all.
Shouldn't even be a 1-time.
He shouldn't. Just going back to the Omega match, it's Omega versus Rey Fenix. Who's Rey Fenix's partner?
Oh, it's he has a very long, very confusing name.
Yeah,
he's called Pentagon something. Yeah, no, Pienta.
Jack Quinn, isn't it?
You what?
What? Jack Quinn Phoenix, no?
Jack Quinn Phoenix. Right. I would like... This is what I'd do if I was in control of AEW and Impact. You have Omega beat him via help from the Good Brothers. Then, I know that Bash of the Beach, or whatever it is they're doing. Omega and the Good Brothers, Pac, Pentagon, Phoenix. 6-man. Because they're doing a 6-man at an Impact show, and he's teaming up with the Good Brothers. So I'd like to see him come the other way as well. Just my thoughts. Anyone want to comment on that?
I agree with that. What I like is the fact that we're getting crossovers in teams and interaction that we want.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting Good Brothers and Kenny Omega, like Bullet Club, you know, and we're getting stuff that we like. We're
not used to that.
No, like, we're getting to, if you look at it from this point of view, right, we're getting Rey Fenix, who's a fantastic high flyer with AAA and Impact. You have Pac, who, let's be honest, is Adrian Neville.
Yeah.
Who's famous for his flips and was
King of the Cruiserweights.
Red Arrow.
Yeah. You've got all these, like, great high flyers, and then you've got Kenny Omega, who's just, to put it simply, a belt collector. He's got the AAA, like, World Championship and the AEW World title. And in no doubt, no further time, by the end of 2021, he will have held, in my eyes, the New Japan World title and the Impact World title.
And the 24/7
because I feel that's
title.
the path he's on. Just to be absolute. Yeah, he'll just come in, roll up our truth.
Right.
One winged angel.
I am just going to take like a complete detour in this conversation. What's stopping them? What's stopping them from doing that? You know, we've seen like Rob Gronkowski. We've seen Santa win it for crying out loud. What's stopping Kenny Omega with a referee going up to our truth's house and rolling him up?
2 words, Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
he will not. He won't entertain one of his belts being on another brand. Not a chance.
Yeah, but it seems to me like something that Eric Bischoff would do.
What you've got to think then, right, is then you've got Kenny Omega, the biggest guy in the business, if you ask me at the moment.
Yeah.
Against R-Truth.
Yeah, but this is this isn't
for a Mickey Mouse belt.
Yeah, but we don't see it like that. This is what you do is you have Omega go over there. You have Vince know nothing about it. WWE know nothing about it. You have this in complete not kayfabe. This is real. Kenny Omega goes there with a referee. Have him knock him out with a baseball bat, right? AEW referee counts the pinfall. Kenny Omega goes back to AEW with 24/7 championship. No one can beat him. Kenny Omega just holds it for a year, and it's like Vince McMahon's trying to get his belt back. They get the court involved and everything, and he's just like, I won it. The contract says if I pin the champion, I get it. Come pin me. Yeah, it's Good Brothers, pull out machine guns, kill everybody, you know? Huh?
I think your daughter's playhouse has gone to your head, mate.
But, if Santa can hold the title, why can't he? Right.
Steve Blackman returns and win the world title.
No, but it's the 24/7 title. I get it. I do get that there's kayfabe and there's stuff that we have to keep. But what's in kayfabe?
I don't like to see that.
In kayfabe, what's stopping another company's wrestler coming and winning it?
Security.
I agree with another company's wrestler. For example, what's it called now? I think a good name to have it would be, what's he called?
Orange Cassidy.
Sami Callihan.
Sami Callihan would be good with it. And Sami Guevara. Give it to Sami Guevara.
Yeah.
That were an aggressive yes. That was like a euphoric yes.
Yeah, no, I forgot.
I felt like I was back in Occupy Raw.
Wow.
Tell me what I want.
Is that what you want?
Tell me what I want.
I can't honestly, in my head, So I agree with Orange Cassidy taking it, right? And then throwing his hands in his pockets and walking off. That would be good. Because he's the thing is with Orange Cassidy is he's a joke character, right? He's a joke character that has multiple wins over this legend Chris Jericho, right? And I'm here for it. I love it because he's this joke character. He has the shades on. He has the hands in the pockets. But as soon as it comes to a big match, he'll turn around and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna try in this one," and then he'll be doing these mad springboards, and they'll be great Muta elbows, and they'll be cartwheeling across the ring, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's he doing? But when it comes down to it, it's all down to what gets pushed across.
Yeah.
Although I am a huge fan of the idea of Orange Cassidy pinning R-Truth, throwing his hands in his pockets and walking off.
That's our new thumbnail. Forget what I've got. I'm doing that. Orange Cassidy pins R-Truth, new 24/7.
Good evening, viewers. If you are finding this video, we have all taken mushrooms halfway through and have gone absolutely off our tits.
No, that's just Ryan. He always seems to lose it about halfway through.
The day that happens, I will eat this hat. The day that happens, I will put this hat in a soup, chomp it up, and get them and go.
Speaking of soups, we're going to move on now to NXT. Go on, Louis.
I was just going to say, I'm not going to lie. WWE have said they're open to cross-brand stuff.
I think they mean NXT. and Evolve.
They mean like
NXT
stuff,
UK.
like the yeah. No, they've said they're open to this kind of stuff.
There's not a chance Finn's going to allow any AEW talent to come on his brand. That'll never happen.
No,
saying they're open to it and actually doing it are two completely different things.
Yeah. They said they're open to it after AEW said it. They're just trying to get one up.
I think you could get away with it with the 24/7 championship because it is a lot of crap. Because it's fun.
Yeah,
That's
What's
why.
the best way out of anyone that'll hold it? You take AEW. Oh, AEW's got it. Who cares? That's not going to bring in viewers, is it? Like, who gives a shit if R-Truth is 24/7, 7-Eleven, European vacant, Nigerian Nevada champion? It doesn't matter.
But it's fun.
It's a pile of crap.
It's fun.
Right?
It's boring.
How funny would it be?
Stuff.
How funny would it be? Right? Orange Cassidy versus Sami Guevara. Right? All of a sudden, without anyone knowing, R-Truth runs in. Right? Doing that stupid run he's doing. Right? He runs
Carmelo
in.
on his back.
Yeah, he runs in under the bottom rope. He's been using the Booker T scissor kick. That lands. He pins Orange Cassidy. Then all of a sudden, Sami Guevara comes out of nowhere, botches, pins him, and then Sami Guevara has it, and then Sami Guevara's with the Elite. I think it's funny.
I'll tell you what would be good though if he came out in AEW thinking it were Raw.
I would love that. He just ran out.
But with it
If
being
he
on a
just
Wednesday,
ran out.
you'd have to say it's NXT. Having come out and be like, NXT, NXT. He's on the wrong brand completely.
Sorry,
He just comes out, no.
This
He
is
just
on
comes
me.
out on
This is
a
on
Wednesday
me.
night thinking it's Monday. And he just comes out and he walks out, and all of a sudden, like, this music starts playing. No one has a clue what's going on. R-Truth appears, right?
Over there,
And he's got a WWE microphone. Yeah, he's got a WWE microphone. He's got the jeans with the writing on, right? He comes dancing his way down to the ring, singing "What's Up." I think it's brilliant. I'm a huge fan.
We will move on from this
well,
in just a minute,
I
but I
just
do want to add. Imagine that he's in the ring about to cut a promo. Out comes Chris Jericho, Miro, I say John Moxley. You can just look at him like, I haven't seen you guys in years. And then they watch coming back.
I don't think there's a more fitting theme for that moment for R-Truth than "What have I become?"
Right.
Oh,
Right. No, I can keep going. We could be here for another hour just talking about the 24/7 championship. Let's move on. NXT. Obviously, we've got 2 weeks as well. They're in not tonight, but next week. They've got New Year's Evil with Finn Balor defending against Kyle O'Reilly. On that show, we also have a last woman standing match between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez. I believe that's her name. Let me just make sure. We've also got, Raquel Gonzalez. We've got Tommaso Ciampa versus Timothy Thatcher in a fight pit, which we've only ever seen one of before. We've got Karrion Kross versus Damian Priest. Tonight, we have Leon Ruff taking on Johnny Gargano for the North America Championship. And the other thing I wanted to mention was New Year's Evil is hosted by Dexter Lumis, which is a guy that doesn't speak. So that should be...
That'll be interesting.
Interesting. Whoever wants to say something can go ahead and
Can
say
I just
it.
say, right?
Yeah.
Leon Ruff sounds like the eBay version of Leo Rush. You go on to Wish and it's like, oh, Leon Ruff. Your mum brings you on a present, you got a Leon Ruff toy, you get Leon Ruff. Comes up in Walmart for 50p. They're like, Leo Rush. Or it's like Vince McMahon someone's character when they come in. Oh, we've got Leo Rush, Vince. Who's that? We'll rename him Leon Ruff.
Carry on talking amongst yourselves. I'm just gonna.
Why not keep Leo Rush then? That's my question.
Sorry?
Why not just keep Leo Rush and just save everything else? You know.
So does anyone see Leon Ruff winning back the championship tonight?
I didn't even know he had one.
So he was North American champion. He beat Johnny Gargano. Then he lost it to Johnny Gargano in a triple threat match. And now he's challenging Johnny Gargano for it again tonight so we'll know by the time the video goes up. If Leon Ruff does win, it keeps that Johnny Gargano's never defended his championship successfully, so that is interesting.
Oh, do you think? I think he's going to retain.
I'd love to see Leon Ruff win it, but I think he's going to retain and be like, "Oh, it's a new year, new me."
It's a bit like the Sasha thing where we thought, "Oh, she's never successfully defended a belt when she's won it, etc." And obviously that turned out to be.
Yeah,
I think this will be similar.
Louis, go on.
I've actually been watching NXT and bits of it, and I really like Leon Ruff. I'm a huge fan of him. I think he's great. I think the way that he moves is great. I like his move set, and I like the fact that they had him put over by beating Gargano. I think it's great, and I want to see him take the belt off him again. I want to just see him go back and forth.
The only thing that I see an issue with is he's not what WWE sees in a superstar. He's not a big lad. He's even not like a Finn Balor. He's like, there's not much of him, so it's hard.
No,
people are going to find it hard to believe because they're not brainwashed to think that way because of WWE.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he is a little. What is he like? 5'8", 5'9", something like that.
He's definitely like.
He looks about that to me.
He can definitely go on 205 Live anyway.
Yeah, and by 205 Live, you mean that he looks about 150 pounds.
105 Live.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. 205 Live, and not a single one of them is 205 pounds. It's like, it's just the stupidest thing ever. Like 205 in anywhere else is heavyweight, right?
Right.
205 anywhere is heavyweight. But in WWE, 205, no, that's the little guys. That's guys that actually weigh about 180 pounds max. We're just going to throw them on there just to let them go at it for a bit.
Buddy Murphy weighed. His story was quite interesting. He weighed like 207 and he had to like weigh down. He had to like work out to weigh down so he could be on the show, which was a good story. Isn't it mad to believe the 205 Live's still a thing? It's still a weekly thing. Like the Bollywood boys are getting a lot of showtime recently. I really don't know what to say, to be honest, guys. Like 205 Live. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I didn't even know it was still going on, to be honest with you.
Every Friday night after SmackDown.
I've not watched it since the Buddy Murphy, Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander days.
I don't. In the nicest way possible, I don't think many people have.
No.
Especially since it's moved to a Friday. I don't think anyone even knows.
Yeah. I'll tell you what was painful once when I think Chad and Ryan, you both of us, we all went to see SmackDown in Manchester.
Oh my God, that was painful.
The AJ Styles one.
205 Live just to see AJ Styles at the end.
Yeah.
That was the worst, one of the worst hours I've ever had to sit through.
Yeah.
205 Live is still a thing, but it's only half an hour now. Which is for the best.
How can you run a wrestling show in half an hour?
They have 2 matches a week. Mansoor had a match this week and he won. He's had 10 matches this year and won them all. Wrestler of the year right there.
I mean the ratio. I mean, you can't mock it.
You can.
Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about that's happened in the past week or happening in the next 2? Or are we good to go to ball predictions?
Yeah, how much do you miss?
We didn't touch on Karrion Kross. Is his first match back?
Yes. So he won the title, didn't he? And then he had to vacate it because of injury, and he's taking on Damian Priest.
That's the one. Should be. I think quick work maybe of Priest maybe.
Yeah, I think Karrion Kross going to destroy him.
Yeah, just to bring that to show everyone that look, I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm not to mess with, and then I think he'll go for Balor soon.
Or Kyle, if Kyle wins.
Or Kyle. I can't see Kyle O'Reilly beat. No, I can't see it.
What are you saying, Louis?
That's what I say. Isn't Damian Priest a big dude? Like, doesn't Damian Priest have a lot of what's the word? It's not coming to me.
Tattoos?
Doesn't he have a lot of That's it, prestige.
Worldwide,
doesn't he have a lot of prestige?
That doesn't matter though. Goldberg made a quick work of Brock Lesnar.
Prestige worldwide.
I think
Like, it doesn't matter.
he's not like Finn Balor level.
No.
He's mid-card level.
Finn Balor's the top.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say he's Adam Cole level. He is Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa level. So I could see him coming and beating him and it not damaging him too much. I think Damian Priest can take a loss here and not be affected by it too much. And it'll do a lot for Karrion Kross, depending on how he does it. If he comes in and destroys him, that's going to do loads for him.
Yeah.
Ryan Sutcliffe, did you have anything to add about this week or the next two?
I'm not gonna lie, lads. Last time I sat through a full episode of NXT, Bobby Roode was still wearing suits and the NXT champion. So straight up my head, I am actually gonna start watching though. I will start watching, but it's been a crazy week to be fair, so I ain't had a chance. But I do intend to watch.
Are we good to move on to the bold predictions for the week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
I have changed mine in the past 24 hours. Again, because I change mine every week. Mine originally was going to be AEW will hit 1 million viewers by the end of 2021. I've changed it. AEW will hit 1 million viewers tonight.
Yes, 100%.
For that tribute show,
100%.
they will hit 1 million viewers tonight, I reckon.
100%.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's mine for the week. Obviously, we'll find out by the time that we record next, so that'll be exciting. Who wants to go next? You're all thinking of one, aren't you?
I'm still thinking no, but I'm going to say, because we've got that Drew Keith Lee match on Raw, I'm going to say Sheamus is going to bro kick Drew McIntyre.
Deliberately? Accidentally?
No, accidentally.
Accidentally, okay. Okay. Bryan, Louis?
Go on, Lou. I'll give you the honours.
Fine. Throw me under the bus again. I'm going to say... No, I actually have one. Mine is going to be, and it's a bit of a long-term bold prediction, but mine is going to be that Cesaro leaves WWE and joins AEW. Jesus. Because there was a thing that I read the other week, and it said that his contract was coming to its end, and he needed his contract was coming to the end, and there was lots of speculation. Nothing's been set in stone. Nothing's been, I don't even think he's had talks with AEW, but his contract is coming up, and imagine the star that AEW would turn him into.
100%. Definitely. They wouldn't waste him in the tag division.
Think about it. People that turn into stars, right? John Moxley, I mean, yeah, okay, he was a big star at WWE, but he wasn't mid-card.
Not compared to this.
No, like he was a big star in the terms that we all knew who he was.
Yeah.
And he'd held the main belt.
Yeah.
So, big star at WWE, by that terms, goes to AEW, gets the main belt, and goes undefeated for nearly a year.
You want to talk about people in WWE's tag division that have gone to AEW and become stars? Brodie Lee. Like, they do it with Brodie Lee. They can do it with basically anybody.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna move on to next. He left WWE as a mid-carder.
Yeah.
Went to AEW and was given a huge faction, was given a belt within like a couple of months of signing, and he had huge storylines. I'm a huge fan of the way that AEW pushes people, and I think you give AEW someone like Cesaro, who we all know is way better than it's led on to be.
100%.
Cesaro could fully hold the main belt.
The fact
He
that
could
he
hold the
hasn't,
AEW World Belt. He could take it to Vega.
the fact that he hasn't held a main championship in WWE is disgraceful. The fact that he hasn't held a mid-card title in WWE in 5 years or more is disgraceful.
It's absolutely criminal.
It is.
I think he should go to AEW. You think, right? If he goes to AEW, come, say Omega's still a champion, right? You have Cesaro go in, right? Go straight for the belt. Cesaro versus Omega, we'd all watch that.
Yeah.
Right? That would be a good match. And then have Cesaro take the belt. Have Cesaro go on a mad run with the belt.
Oh, it'd be amazing. It would be amazing. And AEW would actually do that. Ryan. Bold prediction.
Yes. Right, before I get into it, I just want to say as well, I haven't mentioned just did anyone see the views that SmackDown brought in last week?
Yeah.
How did we not mention that?
Amazing.
So there was NFL, I believe it was, that carried over to SmackDown. And that was a big part of it, but that was amazing. Yeah, sorry, carry on, man.
All right, so I start ringing up. And the bold prediction, Legends Night, it was hinted at by Alexa Bliss. And Chad, you and your Twitter friend mentioned it the other week. I think The Fiend will return and he's going to wipe out the Legends all the way till he gets to Wharton. Yeah,
on Legends Night.
Yeah, I did think as well, though, if that one don't work, Royal Rumble, Orton, I'm still sticking by this, Orton, Final Four, Final Four, right? He's on fire. He's killing everyone. RKO left, right, centre. Whoa, no one can stop him.
That one
Michael
move.
Collins is his annual. Oh my God, who's gonna stop him? Until someone stops him, and then you get the doom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Fiend. Why is Orton out the Rumble? It was the Fiend. Now that is storytelling.
Does that sound familiar to anybody else?
Yeah.
I feel like we said that last week. We said that almost word for word last week, but yes, I like it, right?
You know, I withdraw my statements. I reckon.
Original as always, buddy.
I reckon David Attenborough is going to come on Legends Night and just twat everybody. There you go. Yeah.
That is a bold prediction. If that happens.
That is bold. Here
we have.
I was just going to say, here in the Performance Centre, we have a Royal Rumble. And
oh my God. Right. Does anybody else have anything to add? Or are we good to finish this one up for this week?
Just that Roman Reigns is the best thing going right now.
They're going to have to
What
go.
more can I say?
You're going to have to go 10 days without us. 10 days. They're going to have to go 10 days between episodes. A lot can happen in 10 days. A lot can happen. And I do have an interesting topic that I want to talk about next week. But we'll see how busy. We'll see what happens in the week. But if nothing mega, I want our big conversation to be, who should Triple H's retirement match be against?
Ooh.
So that is potentially what we're going to talk about next week. So you've got a week, you got 10 days to think about it and think of your reasons and stuff. I have already got an idea. But yeah, we are on Twitter at Prediction Bold.
One sec. We've got a guest. Chad, you froze. Oh no. We've got a special guest lined up, remember?
Next week?
I think it's next. Yeah, January 8th, we told him.
January 8th, we have a special guest.
I think I know what it is.
So we have got
I don't think you do.
5. There'll be 5 hosts. That's 10. There'll be 5 hosts next time you listen to us.
Do I know this guy?
We're all going to discuss Triple H's retirement match, as well as everything else that's gone on between now and then. We're on Twitter at Prediction Bold. We're on YouTube at Bold Prediction. We're on Facebook at Bold Prediction Wrestling. We're on iTunes at Bold Prediction Wrestling. We're on Spotify at Bold Prediction Wrestling. And we are on SoundCloud at Bold Prediction Wrestling. Thank you very much for listening to this hour and a half almost discussion about lots of other stuff. As we said at the beginning of our video, our thoughts are with Brodie Lee's family and friends and everybody impacted on that. But thank you for listening, and we will see you in 10 days.
We'll see you in the